How you doing? This is Nick Hood. I'm at the newest park in Detroit, down on the west side of the Ambassador Bridge. And I was here last week. I looked at it. It looks so good. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to come back here. So I hope you don't mind me being here. But I just want to share with you a few thoughts about rescue love and the Good Samaritan. This Sunday, I'm going to be preaching about rescue love and the Good Samaritan. And when I think about rescue love, I often think about dogs and stray cats that don't have a home. And who are the people who will take them in? And I always have thought that's a very admirable thing to do. But in the Bible, in Luke chapter 10, Jesus tells us about rescue love. He talks about the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan who is on his way to Jericho, and while en route to Jericho, another man gets beaten and robbed and left for dead by robbers. And they stripped him. They took away his clothes. And a Levite from the family of Levi, he refuses to cross the road to help the man. A priest refuses to cross the road to help the man. But a Samaritan, of all people, decided to cross the road. And the Samaritans and the Jews didn't get along. They didn't get along because they worship God in different places. The Jews worship in Jerusalem, which is a high place. But the Samaritans also worship God on a mountain. And Gerizim, I think is the name of it. And the two just didn't see eye to eye together. I think there's another reason why they didn't get along. The Samaritans were light-skinned, like me, people who are products of miscegenation. And they were easy to identify as being something other than a Jew. When Jesus is a baby, Joseph and Mary, when they're running from King Herod, they go to Egypt. Why do you think they went to Egypt? Because the Nubians were dark-skinned. And that's just part of the world that they lived in. And but Jesus makes the point, and this is a story, a parable that he's telling to a lawyer. He says, you know, the lawyer questions him. In the New Revised Standard Version, it says that the lawyer almost seek to put Jesus to trial. And he raises the question, what does it take to obtain eternal life? And Jesus replies to him, what does the Bible, what does the Torah say? And he says, you know, love your God with all your heart and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And so as Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan, who picks the man up from the ground, he crosses the road, picks the man up, puts the man on his animal, and then takes the man into Jericho, pays for a room at an inn, and then tells the innkeeper, I have bound this man's wounds. If he requires any more assistance, I'll be back in a couple of days, and when I come back, I will pay whatever else is required. And so Jesus then turns the question on this inquisitive lawyer. He says, in this story, who is the good neighbor? And the lawyer has no choice but to say, the man who picked him up and took him to be healed. And so I'm going to be preaching about this on Sunday. You can see it on Facebook at 8:30 in the morning at Plymouth United Church of Christ. You can look at it at YouTube at Plymouth UCC Detroit. And then later in the week, you can see it on our church website, www.puccdetroit.org. If you look on my blog on wordpress.com, I break down several of the salient points from this story. Number one, the man and the Good Samaritan are on the road to Jericho. The man who's robbed and beaten is a victim of a crime of circumstance. And very often in life, that's how bad things happen. It's nothing that he deserved, but it happened. And the Samaritan crosses the road to help the man. He is not described as a particularly religious man, and he's certainly outside of the tradition of the Jews. But he crosses the road when the Jewish priest and the Jewish Levite will not. And so that in and of itself is a point. And then, without giving away everything in my points, you can see them on WordPress.com, Nicholas Hood III. But I talk about, what does it mean to be a Samaritan? And in today's world, what does it mean to cross the road? What does it mean in today's world to stop what you're doing, bend down, and help somebody else? What does it require in today's world when somebody's hurting, somebody is suffering? What does it take to bend down, stop what you're doing, and help somebody else? And I want you to think about that because we have so many people in the world today who they look at people who are hungry, people who are thirsty, people who are in jail, people who are suffering for one reason or another, and they just turn their head the other way and they keep on walking. And what Jesus is telling us is sometimes the most important thing in the world is what you didn't plan. The Samaritan didn't plan on having to stop and help somebody else, but he does. And you and I, my friends, need to take a similar attitude in our lives, to treat the hungry, the tired, the poor, the beaten down, the left out, the ones who are forgotten, and to treat them as we would want somebody to treat ourselves. So that's the little word I share with you today. And I want you to know I'm praying for you. God bless, God keep you. So let me share with you where I am. I'm at the Detroit River. I just heard a report on NPR, National Public Radio, that the Detroit River has really been cleaned up. It's so clean, Aquafina gets its water from here. Look how beautiful this water is. And it talked about how the otters and other wildlife are coming to Detroit. And they're coming to Detroit because the water is pure. And I tell you, Aquafina would not be here if the water is not pure. But I want to show it to you. The bridge that was behind me is the Ambassador Bridge. And the Ambassador Bridge connects Detroit on the left to Windsor, Ontario, Canada on the right. If you look at that line of slow-moving trucks, that's commerce between the United States and Canada. And then as we look to the west, we see the mouthway of the Detroit River into Lake Erie. That's where it opens up. And Toledo is the major city on Lake Erie. Cleveland would be farther to the left of your image. And then as we turn the camera back to Detroit, you can see the skyline of Detroit. And that's what we're working with in Detroit right now. I know Detroit gets a bad rap, but I'm at the base of the newest park in Detroit. And it has, you can't see it, but you see they're laying sod. And then if you look straight ahead where the sod raises, there's a skateboarding park, which is part of this. It has, I can't wait to bring my granddaughter and grandson here. They live in California, because straight ahead, and I don't think you can really see it very well here, but there is a green climbing netted apparatus in the form of a basketball net. I've never seen anything like it. It's huge. And my granddaughter and grandson like to climb in the parks in Berkeley, California. And I can't wait to bring them here because there's nothing in Berkeley this big. So again, my friends, God bless, God keep you, and I want you to know I am praying for you.